Hey guys, Nicole Scott here from Mobile Geeks. I'm joined with Dahlmann.
Hi Nicole, how are you?
I'm pretty good because CES is finally a car show.
Is it? Yes, it is.
Yes,
It is okay. I mean, the North Hall and the Westgate part of the show is like totally for cars and mobility. They have a smart city part in there, IoT stuff. All the Chinese 5G companies are there, etc., even some public transport stuff. The rest down here on this other side is the conventional.
Consumer electronics.
This is consumer electronics, television, whatever you want
But
to
even still, Bosch is in Central Hall. So we are
Exactly.
even seeing automotive elements show up in different parts of the hall.
Yeah.
And Sony launched a car, which was a giant surprise of the show.
Giant surprise.
Giant surprise. I mean, they do make car sensors for ADAS.
Yeah.
And so they partnered with Magna to do a car. And Bosch?
Yeah.
To do the concept car. And then they took the opportunity to jam in everything else that they put into their car. So the 360 surround sound, displays, like anything else that Sony made, they put inside. And that's kind of neat.
One of the most interesting thing about this Vision S, which is called from Sony, is that, I mean, the platform is from Magna. The car platform.
Yeah.
Technology comes from Conti, Bosch, Sony.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of thing where you think, okay, some companies got together and said, hey, let's build a car. Mm-hmm. And they just did it. And I think that's the interesting point about it. It's like Sony will never sell this car.
Yeah.
But
Ever.
It's just for show. But
it's an amazing promotional and marketing tool.
That's one point. But on the other thing is what I really find interesting is how easy it is nowadays to build a car. Mm. You need some people like Magna, Bosch, and there are other big companies out there who can help you provide you a car platform, because you need things like seats, and doors, and belts. But you can buy that on the market. You can just go to a shelf and just pick what you need and put it in your car, and that's it. What you need is then a facility who builds it, which you can do easily. Let's see Tesla. Mm-hmm. It took a year to build the Gigafactory, the new one.
Right.
And then you start selling those cars. So if you have a company that has some money, and if you're willing to invest $5 billion, I think, altogether. But if you're willing to do that, and Sony is definitely, or Disney could definitely.
Disney could do it.
Like,
that's true.
Buy it and do it, and have a Disney car, e-car. So it seems to be much more easier to build a car nowadays and to get like in competition with the old OEMs.
Yeah. I know what you mean. But there was also a few other tiny robots at the show, which I don't mean to take away from Sony, but they did steal the show in terms of surprise. But the show is actually covered in tiny mobility robots that bring you toilet paper, that come and greet you at the door. And it's, for me,
it's like
anything,
pepper on speed.
Pepper on speed, the love bug. But to me, all of these toys, they're actually toys, right? They're not mobility products, they're toys. But the fact that these toys are using mobility technology in their base, and they're everywhere. This is another thing for me about how the mobility and automotive industry is really getting mainstream into CES.
Yeah, that's one interesting point, because this year, I mean, I was a bit not disappointed this year from the CES in terms of mobility, vehicle technology. But I mean, it was a bit same. So it was the people mover. It was for 6 to 8 people. It was like some parcel delivery moving stuff. It was some concept cars that show up like hydrogen or solar or whatever. But it was like
there was another flying car in the exact same booth as the flying car from last year. But this year it's Hyundai and Uber, and last year it was Airbus. But it's same thing.
There's nothing really new here. Even the Sony car. The Sony car was because it was a surprise because it came from Sony.
Yeah.
But the rest, there was nothing special about the car from Sony. Entertainment system, maybe a bit more integrated, more connectivity. But there is not like this big thing when you say, oh wow, something is going on here. But the thing is, the the older CES or the years before, you always had like a big bang where like, oh, this is something new. Oh, here's an e-car. But now everybody has one, and they all look the same. They're SUVs or people mover.
To be totally honest with you, though, I don't expect new news from CES. I expect CES to present me with a lot of crap, right?
Well, that's over there.
A ton of crap.
Yeah.
A ton of, oh, this was sort of interesting last year, and now we've made it mass market and more affordable. Yeah. Like, this isn't the show for new stuff, right? No, this is the show for companies to set their intentions for the year.
I disagree.
This is the big show where everyone comes to say, this is what we will do, and then not really present new mind-blowing tech.
I disagree.
But then where's the tech? There hasn't been new tech here, really new cutting-edge tech here for years.
I agree with that.
For years.
But I disagree that it was never the case. Because I remember being here when the first smart watches a couple of years came out, or fitness watches, and everybody was like, what am I going to do with it? I don't even know. There was two years before they really had it to market. I was like, oh, this is the next big thing. I was here when they, first year when they launched the voice assistant stuff, which is not so long ago. I was here when they had played a bit more around with smartphones and technology and all this stuff. Yes, when you can't expect like every year a breakthrough technology coming to market. But I mean, I haven't seen like, also from the automotive industry, I haven't seen like anything that really like, wow, grabbed myself that was like, oh Jesus, I have to see that.
But honestly though, I think those days of tech are over. I mean, like we've evolved.
You think so?
Yeah, I think that like 13, 14 years ago when I first started coming here, like streaming TV wasn't even a thing, right? And like they had these halls that were very much like, oh, we have our crazy gadgets. I lived in my basement. Oh my God, we're gonna bring a new tech here. And when the CES overlaps with the porn show, right? The people from CES would then go to the porn show and try to get them to buy, right? And now that's gone. CES got too big. There's no need to try to sell real time, real life to other industries. And like I think everything's evened out just a little bit, where CES is now just a show where they present what's gonna be bought in 2020. Everyone just spent a shitload of money at Christmas, so they're not putting out too much crazy new stuff. I think it's more just a setting intention show now.
I mean, I agree with that, but even for that, I miss a bit. I mean, especially for mobility, I miss it a bit. Okay. But I mean, the MWC is a show where you see all the new smartphones with the new features. That's where you say, wow, the new whatever is there, and it makes even better photos than the one before, and so on and so on. So yes, or it has a battery life now for 2 days. So there's something new. CES is like, it's still the biggest show, is it? I think IFA is bigger nowadays, but I'm not sure. So it's one of the biggest shows in the world.
It's still important in terms of in terms of its presence and companies, but the signal to noise ratio is too high. There's too many companies, too many vendors, too many things happening, and nobody can really steal the spotlight unless you've come out with a product that's so stupid that everyone wants to talk about it, like the robot that brings you toilet paper. CES 2020, is it losing its steam?
Is it losing its steam?
Yeah, is it losing its steam? I mean, I feel like I show up because it's a good place for meetings. It's not a good place for product launches.
I love to be here. I mean, I will be here next year also. I love to be here. And it's always a great time. We always see a lot of good stuff that's going on, and meeting great people. And you always find these little booths and these little gems out there. But still, if you have the overall picture, for me is a bit like, I'm a bit disappointed. I would love to see more newer stuff, and also like companies a bit more aggressively pushing new stuff forward and saying, hey, we know it's early, but we envision this is a thing that you're going to use in the future, and you will never going to miss it because you will love it or whatever. So something like that, and I miss that.
So check out some of our other videos. We did a video about Dahlmann.
Was it too depressing, our video now?
No, I don't think so, but we have to cut it off because we're past the 10-minute mark.
Oh my God. I'm sorry.
I don't think it's that depressing. I just think it's honest, right? And there's a lot of hype around the show that I think maybe everyone tries to give everyone FOMO, but really at the same time, I don't know if it's that.
Let's see if we get an accreditation next year after the video.
Oh, we will. All right, so check out some of our other videos. I'm Nicole Scott.
I'm Dahlmann. Hey.
See you guys next time.
Bye-bye.